What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Friday, October 12th, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside GameSpot's Lucy James.
Hello.
Hello, Governor. How are you?
That is exactly how I talk.
Yeah, it's my long running. I've never done it to you. I've never shown you the true.
Actually.
Oh, it's because it's insulting to do it to a real English
really
person.
Insulting right there.
It is really insulting, right?
I guess because I'm from the north of England where no one really speaks like that. In fact, this isn't even my real accent. So.
Give me your real accent.
So hang on, if I was gonna, it's because I mispronounce all my vowels.
Okay.
So like, if I was having to read something out, you can see like all my vowels are in the wrong place.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's my. And also, if I'm drunk, I will be super shrill.
Oh,
and loud.
You're not doing much for English stereotypes then.
No, it's quite bad.
Lucy James.
Hey.
For some people, I'm sure, on Kinda Funny's audience here and people watching abroad and all that stuff, they don't know you. Give me the nutshell rundown. You work at GameSpot here in the U.S., but that's a brand new endeavor.
Can anyone ever really know themselves?
Oh my God! How deep? Oh my God!
So I've worked at GameSpot UK for 4 years. I joined in like 2014, and I've been on a bunch of video stuff from then. I like host E3 stuff.
Sure.
Dip my toe into Game of Thrones, Westworld, entertainment stuff.
Yeah.
And then last year they kind of said to me, "Do you want to move to America?"
And you're like, "Yeah, everything's going excellent over there."
Out of the Brexit frying pan.
Great point.
Into the fire. But, career-wise, and I love the team in the US, and I've worked with them for so long, and I was like, this is a great opportunity. Let's do it. Visa process obviously takes a while.
Sure.
And yeah, now I'm here. I've been here. It'll be a month on Sunday.
It's flying by.
I know.
Look how fast
scary.
that's been. Yeah. You enjoying it so far?
I am. That's partly because who I'm living with.
You're the roommate with the Millers.
I am the roommate with
We
the
needed to
Millers.
spruce up our sitcom, and you moved into the spare room, and so there you go.
And to be honest, I think everyone keeps asking me, what's the transition been like? And I say that because I have a great, stable home life, and I have a great, stable work life, it hasn't really felt like much of a transition.
That's great.
Like the joke that I keep saying, it's not really a joke because it's true, but it's like I'm not going home and crying after work because I'm missing England, and there's a great crossover time zone wise. Like everyone in the UK is awake until about 4 p.m.
Okay.
Our time.
Yeah, I was gonna say our time.
So, which is about midnight that time. So I can still talk to everyone. I'm having fun. San Francisco's a great city.
Yeah.
Has its problems.
Of course.
But
who doesn't? What city doesn't? You know what I mean? Don't even try.
No,
Don't
I
even try to
can't
name
even
it.
think
All right.
about
Don't
it.
even worry about it. All right.
Well, no, it's great.
Good.
And that's it's my situation right now.
All right. Well, let's find out what the situation is in video games, because
What a
this
segue.
is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show, kindafunny.com/KFGD, with your questions, comments, concerns, bad PSN names for a few more weeks, and everything else under the video game sun. Then tune in to watch us record it live on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. If you're watching live, you have a special job to do. Go to kindafunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up, so we can set the record straight for everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames and listening on podcast services around the globe. Hey, Kev, how you doing? Made eye contact with you. I feel like I have to acknowledge it.
Pretty good, man.
Yeah, you ready for this weekend,
Thank
man?
you.
Oh, living the dream.
You gonna play some Assassin's Creed?
Oh, I'm gonna go hard.
Yeah?
I think that the entirety of this weekend will be in Assassin's Creed, and then a little bit of sleep.
Okay, good. I'm glad about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I'm sorry?
I was just I'm gonna try to beat it.
Oh, okay. Laying down the gauntlet. Housekeeping for you today. Patreon.com/kindafunnygames is the reminder. There's the fan mail is these notes. If you go over to patreon.com/kindafunnygames, back us at the fan mail tier during the month of October, you will get my notes from the shows of Kinda Funny Games Daily or the Kinda Funny Games Cast. I have been collecting them for months now, signing them. They will all be put in envelopes and sent out to people who support us at the fan mail tier. And then today we're brought to you by Brooklyn, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 3 items on the Roper Report, Kev.
A baker's dozen!
Man, you are ready for the weekend. Number 1 is cross-platform play coming to Diablo 3. This is Ben Gilbert over at Business Insider AU. There, Ben writes, yet another huge game from a major game developer is going to let players across competing game platforms play together. The game is Diablo 3, and it arrives on the Nintendo Switch on November 2nd. That's the 7th platform that Diablo 3 will be available on, in addition to Mac, PC, Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, and Xbox One. And 7 different platforms means 7 different player bases, all playing Diablo 3 in isolation. Why can't they all just play together? Quote, "It's a question of when, not if," a Blizzard Entertainment representative told Business Insider during a gameplay demo of Diablo 3 on Nintendo Switch this week. Though there's nothing official to announce yet, the folks behind Diablo 3 are actively working with partners at Sony and Microsoft to enable cross-console play with Diablo 3 on Switch. Welcome to 2018, Lucy James.
Finally, everyone can be friends.
Yeah.
And play together.
Do you think it's actually going to happen? It's such, no, with all due respect to Business Insider AU, it's a weak quote. That's a weak quote.
Entertainment representative during a gameplay demo
said that it's a thing. And like, were they talking specifically about this or crossplay in general? Where were we coming down on that? Because it is that it is a thing of. It's probably a conversation of when, not if, right? Like,
sure.
But does that include PlayStation? Is that, they talking about Diablo 3? Are they talking about the next Diablo that's been rumored and all these different things? They talking about cross-platform play in general.
What was the weird thing? It wasn't cross-play, but you could have cross-saves if you had it on last gen. So if you had it on 360.
You can bring your saves to PS or Xbox One and PlayStation.
PS4.
That sounds right. It's been a while because there was the Diablo 3 Reavers of Soul collection or something collection that was awesome. Diablo 3 is an amazing game. BT Dubs, just by the way. If you've never played it, you should definitely play it on Switch or any of the other millions of platforms it's on.
But like, do you need to have cross-platform for 360 and PS3 though?
I would say number one, no, and then especially right now, no.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you need it in this. I mean, Diablo 3, again, I remember when it launched on PC and there was the Air 34 or whatever the hell, 64 or 67 code it was. That was a huge deal. But yeah, it's coming to Switch now, and I think it'll be a huge audience of new Switch players who want to play. As somebody who loved Diablo 3, played it really extensively on PS3 and then really extensively on PlayStation 4, like, I am not at all like, man, it'd be awesome to get my save or crossplay. No, I don't care. I just want to jump in and play stuff.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's been that long since it came out. Like, I played it originally on 360.
Yeah.
And, it's been years, and so I kind of don't want my save or anything.
It'd be that classic thing of jumping back and be like, wait, what am I doing? How am I doing this? Who am I? Where am I?
What does that button do?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, but cross-platform play, I mean, it's always great to have.
Yeah.
Would you say, though, that like maybe if you're playing on PC, you have more of an advantage because of mouse and keyboard? Well,
Diablo 3, isn't competitive, right? Like it's PvE.
It's PvE.
There's no
like,
kindoffunny.com/you're wrong if they patch something I don't remember. There's no PvP thing where I'm going up against each other.
No, that's true, but like.
So if you're playing on PC and I'm playing on Switch,
you're the ringer.
and you're just grinding out stuff, getting me more and more content, and that's all I want. That's what I need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Yeah, it wouldn't affect me one bit or the other. But I mean, where have you come down? How close are we to cross-platform? You think being ubiquitous, or are we never getting there?
I would hope maybe with next. It's more of a hope rather than a definitely going to happen. I think for me, like maybe next gen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, right? I feel obviously Fortnite in getting PlayStation to switch off, but Microsoft working so closely with Nintendo on Minecraft and a couple other games. I feel like you're going to see more of those breakthroughs. I think, Minecraft, everybody playing together is going to happen eventually. I think Rocket League, everybody playing together is going to happen. But then it starts getting to like Warframe, maybe? Like, I know they have a dedicated user base and audience, but will that be enough to make everybody jump over and do it?
Sure. And I mean, like, I play Overwatch on PS4 and PC. I would not want to play on PS4 against someone who's playing on PC.
Sure,
and
that's
vice
the big
versa,
problem, right?
because those games are... I don't know, it's going to be game dependent, right?
Yeah,
because
and that's why I think PlayStation's doing the case by case, this is a beta business.
That makes sense. Yeah. But Diablo do have, 2 panels at BlizzCon? They have like one...
BlizzCon I'm not cool enough to pay attention to. You keep talking, I'm turning on the fan.
No, I think they have like 2 panels and everyone's kind of assuming they're going to announce a sequel.
Yeah, well, that's been rumored forever, right? Yeah. And that's been the thing of like, oh, we're hiring for this. And everybody's like, oh, that's Diablo 4. They're the next Diablo or something to that effect.
So maybe this one is more of like a legacy look back at Diablo 3, and then at the end they're like, hey, by the way.
Well, there was another thing too. It didn't make it to the Robo Report yesterday, but I saw it on Reset Era. But it was basically one of those things like, it was totally like my uncle works at Nintendo kind of thing.
Oh, amazing.
But it was like a guy like, my friend works at Blizzard, and here's what Diablo 4 is all about. And it sounded interesting. It sounded like a change of pace, but it wasn't founded enough, I thought, for the Roper Report with such a high barrier here. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for there. Kevin, when I'm going to move on to number 2 on the story here, all right? But I'd like you to come make the fan oscillate.
Okay.
Number 2, Hitman 2 is adding competitive multiplayer to the franchise. Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment and IO Interactive today announced the addition of competitive multiplayer for Hitman 2. Ghost Mode is a unique and brand new take on 1 versus 1 online competition, putting players' assassination skills to the ultimate test. Agent 47 is the world's deadliest assassin, and the only person who can match him in skill, stealth, and execution is ... himself. Therefore, Ghost Mode allows 2 players to compete against each other online, both as Agent 47, to assassinate the most targets in a match. At the start of each round, both players begin side by side and must race to take out the same targets faster and cleaner than their opponent while utilizing weapons, items, outfits, and Ghost Crate supply drops along the way to help accomplish the overall mission. The unique twist with Ghost Mode in Hitman 2 is that players will simultaneously hunt targets while in the same location and can see a ghost version of their rival gamer to track progress against their own. But they exist in separate realities, unaffected by the actions of their adversary. In Ghost Mode, the player who can outsmart, outplay, and outkill their opponent by eliminating 5 targets first will declare victory. That sounds awesome.
That does sound cool.
Did you ever fall in love with the first Hitman? The first Hitman being in quotes, the, you know what I mean, the reboot.
You know what? No, I did not. But I like people in the office do. Like Oscar Days in the UK super loves Hitman.
Yeah.
And it just feels like because of the way they were releasing stuff episodically and people were talking about the elusive targets, that if I have it.
Yeah.
If I went back and did it now, I've completely missed the boat on everything.
Sure.
But that being said, I do still have it. I do really want to play it.
Yeah. Well, now you just wait for 2. Whatever. You know what I mean?
It's not that far away.
Yeah, not at all. I think this actually sounds like a really, really cool mode and a great way to put a multiplayer mode into a single player game. Of like, how do you do that? Because Hitman is so, you are Agent 47. It is you being isolated. It is you having this playground to play with and use the tools how you want. I think that sounds awesome. I'd actually like to play that.
You know what makes me miss though?
What?
Assassin's Creed multiplayer.
No, we don't need one. No.
I was one of those weird people who really enjoyed Assassin's Creed.
I thought it was fine. It was a fine multiplayer mode of blending in, trying to figure out who you're going to kill.
Blending in, and then, trying to identify. But I mean, I guess with this is you can see already who the other person is.
But it's similar.
Like
it's similar. You liked being the assassin or being the target? So yeah, like that was the funnest thing is like how do I act like an NPC? That was always what I remember of Assassin's Creed of like walking, you had to walk and try to blend in with everybody.
Like I'm walking too fast.
Exactly.
Slow down.
Yeah, none of the NPCs turn this way. I can't turn that way.
But no, this does sound super cool. And I mean, Hitman 2, so they're ditching episodic, right? It's all going to come out at the same time.
Are they? Is that right? I think so. That sounds right. Kevin, can I get a Google search on that, please?
Okay.
Hitman 2 episodic.
But that sounds cool.
Yeah, I'm more a fan of, in terms of Hitman 2, the story they've done so far in the real world.
Sure.
Of, Square being like, all right, IO, you're out. All right, and then they're actually giving it to them, right? Yeah, it isn't going to be episodic, great. Then giving them the actual license, or I'm sure selling it somewhere. There's some business deal behind everything. But
yeah, because it's Warner publishing.
Yeah, Warner has it now. But I thought it was so cool that when Square let them go and then gave them the IP, they were like, hey, Hitman isn't Hitman without IO, so they need to take it. I thought that was, whatever that is behind closed doors, that was a great message publicly, and then have Warner Brothers on them. I'm glad that team landed on their feet. I'm glad they get to make the game they want. Yeah. It's cool that, they're actually adding to it in a way that I think is going to be rad. And I know that, like, you don't have to go far to find Hitman fans. Like, obviously, Giant Bomb all over it. And Nick Scarpino in the other room, a big fan of it as well. So it'll be interesting to see this, and I think that could be a really fun party mode of all of us going after each other, trying to figure it out.
Is it just 1-on-1, though?
Yeah, 1v1.
Sure.
Number 3. Final story on the Roper Report because it's a quiet Friday. Rest in peace, Minecraft on Apple TV. This is from Hayden Taylor at gamesindustry.biz. Microsoft has quietly ceased support for Minecraft on Apple TV. While it remains fully playable, the game has been removed from the store and will no longer receive support or updates. The plug was actually pulled on September 24th, but the news has only just surfaced. Microsoft made the announcement through an in-game message which circulated through Twitter. Quote, "We're grateful to the Apple TV community for their support, but we need to reallocate resources to the platforms that our players use most," the message reads. Available on almost every modern game platform, Minecraft is the second most successful game of all time, parentheses, just behind Tetris, with 154 million units sold and over 90 million monthly users. Quote, "We know that this experience isn't in line with the experience on other platforms, so we'll be issuing full refunds on purchases made within the last 90 days, continued the message. All right.
I mean, first off the bat, did not know it was even on Apple TV.
Well, Minecraft's, I think, on toasters. If you can get a toaster with a screen, you got it there to play somewhere.
Alexa, open.
Exactly. I mean, that's the next thing. Alexa, pickaxe that block. Pickaxe that block.
On my Alexa-enabled microwave, which is a thing now.
Well, we just got the, we did an unboxing
yeah.
on Instagram, the Alexios,
That's
the
so good.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey branded
so
Alexa that comes, and I guess there's an app now for Alexa that can tell you about the game as you're playing it and do all these different things.
That's so good. So the thing about this is not telling people and quietly doing it on Twitter. I assume like if you're playing Minecraft on Apple TV,
Yeah.
you are not necessarily going to be a gamer that has consoles and is completely wired into that world. That speaks to me that you are a more casual fan.
Yeah.
Maybe you get it for your kid, and not telling people is super crummy and just doing
You think so? I mean, I feel like they did it the right way, right? They just put out this thing on the mess.
Like-
It's an in-game message that's saying all this.
Sorry. Which circulates through Twitter, so I missed that.
Yeah.
All right.
I think they did it right.
Okay, no, they did it right. I misread that, so you don't.
If you are the kid or the guy who's turning on your Apple TV every day and playing Minecraft, you get the message. And I think it's really cool to do the 90-day backwards of like, if you bought money here, you go, or bought stuff.
Like a 90-day backwards refund, very good. I misread that. I thought it was they just told people through Twitter.
Sure, no,
and I was
no,
like,
no.
if you're just telling
That's
people
a
through
dick
Twitter,
move.
that's a dick move.
Yeah.
But that's fine. That's good. But like, yeah, I mean, it maybe just speaks that maybe not enough people are buying it. On
100%.
Apple
Oh,
TV.
yeah. I don't think people are buying many games on Apple TV and playing them that way. I don't know if that's the preferred device for anything.
That's where I play all of my.
That's where I'm playing one of the world's most popular games. Getting ready for that Fortnite on Apple TV. That's what it's going to be all
That
about.
will
You know what
probably be the next. They will.
Did you
100%
ever
play
connect
that.
with Minecraft? Was that ever a game you played?
So I played it when I was in university. That's when it was just coming out properly. Like my housemates have been playing it for years, and then it came out properly, and then a couple years later it came out on 360, and 360 is when I started playing it.
Yeah.
Because I really liked watching the Achievement Hunter when they were playing Minecraft.
Sure.
That's when
Tower of Pimps.
Tower of Pimps.
Yeah.
And that's when I started playing, and I really enjoyed it, but it kind of became like The Sims for me, where I would load in, build a house, and that was it. And then I would quit out and start a new world.
Fuck off.
Load
Yeah,
in, build a
exactly.
house, and then I kind of just dropped off it. And so I never really got to any of the more, what would you call it? Like, I never really understood how to make circuits.
I was going to say like more endgame stuff, which isn't endgame, but I know. But that was the same way as like, you know, at IGN, Brian and I had a series where we played a whole bunch of Minecraft. And I'd go home and play, and he'd go home and play, and we'd come back and show each other different things. And I had a world that I had on Vita that I would transfer over to PS3 to show.
Sure.
But I never got into the redstones, and I never was fighting the Ender Dragons and all that jazz. And that was never what I was about. I was very much about like, I'm gonna mine everything, and now I want to make this like terrarium, and I want to have a glass ceiling here, and Like it was that's how I used it. But that was the power of that game, is that however you want to play it, you can play it and do whatever you want with it.
What was really cool is my were they nephews, like a cousin's kid?
Yeah,
Kids?
that is weird. I don't know what they are. Yeah. That's not right though. Second cousin is related to like you. It's like how something it is. Google it.
Again, Google. But they showed me, like, we were in a car once and they had it on an iPad and they were like, look, I've been making a scorpion tank from Halo in Minecraft, and they'd made it on the iPad version as well. And I was like, holy crap. Like, I could never do anything. And they were just going, you know, getting a picture up on Google and recreating it. And they would be so into it, and they would just, and they would know exactly how to make circuits. They knew exactly how to get diamond armor super easily. And I would just be like,
I'm just drilling into the ground here, and then I'll hit bedrock, and I go, all right,
here we go.
Kevin's throwing it up here. So there's the self, brother, sister, first cousin, second cousin. See, I told you. See, it's first cousin once removed.
There you go.
See, that makes more sense. So I was right.
I don't think so.
You were wrong, because you were like second cousin.
No, you're right.
Yeah, you just said second cousin. You didn't say once removed.
You're right.
Thank you, Kevin.
You're right.
Thank you, buddy. It's rare that you say that, you know?
That is a very good infographic, though.
Nobody uses first cousin once removed, though. You don't hear that ever.
I write that in my Christmas cards.
I hope you and my first cousins once removed are doing well.
Yes, I will see you next Christmas.
Touch base then. Lucy, I'm excited to see, you know, what else is going to come to Apple TV for games and what's going to happen with Minecraft in the future. But the future's so far away. If I wanted something more pertinent, like what games came to the mom and grop shop, where would I go?
You would go to the official list of upcoming software across each and every platform as listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily Show hosts each and every weekday.
Yeah. Out today, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. I won't lie. I forgot the release date was today. Last night, around 9 p.m., I started seeing everybody tweeting about it. And I was like, oh, did that come? Oh, that's today. That's
so obviously, we've been doing a lot of work, so I knew it was out this week, but it was today. Did you see that amazing thing they were doing in the UK? So Uber Eats in the UK were doing, so obviously fish and chips, one of the national dishes of the UK. You get cod and chips. They were doing a thing where if you ordered cod and chips from very specific restaurants for £7.99, £7.99, they would give you a download code for Black Ops 4 on PS4.
That seems like it seems pretty inexpensive.
Yeah. Instead of, full price £55.
How many? Limited supplies, I assume?
Limited, but I think they were still pretty...
That's a good deal. It seems like, again, everybody's super in love with it. I saw a whole bunch of people putting up their victory royales last night that aren't victory royales and stuff. We got our codes, Kevin. I'm excited. I'm going to play some of that. I want to jump in there and see how it runs and how it looks.
I forgot that it was happening. I might play some of that.
You want to get in tonight? You want to do some stuff?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Andy Cortez got a code too, but I don't know if he'll play it.
Nah, he's a fart mouth.
Exactly, he's a fart mouth. Up next, Guns, Gore, and Cannoli 2 for Xbox One. Luigi's Mansion for 3DS. An IGN.com review from our own Jared Petty up on that one. And then The World Ends With You Final Remix on Switch. Totally came out with no fanfare.
Sure.
I've been excited since they announced it, and then I totally didn't even realize it was today.
I completely forgot. That's quite bad.
It keeps coming around, you know what I mean? And then Sudden Strike 4 is getting DLC today on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. The Africa Desert War add-on is based on the most notorious desert skirmishes in North Africa during World War II.
I feel like that's a very specific
audience who's stoked about that.
Specific, notorious.
So there's a whole bunch of people on PC that are like, man, no thank you, Call of Duty. I'm here for Sudden Strike 4's DLC. New dates for you. Pixel Owl. Oh, hey, cool, Greg. Forgot this is kind of about you. You ready? Can you get on Shock Mic? Because I'll need some impressions here of this. All right. Pixel Owl launches Goosebumps Horror Town Haunted Halloween event as Sony Pictures Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween opens nationwide on October 2nd. You play Goosebumps on your phone, right?
Yeah.
They have a Halloween event now that ties into the Goosebumps 2 movie.
Oh,
Is it Goosebumps game?
Yeah. Yeah, yo, it's a mobile game. Cool Greg does it. It's a town simulator, right? You're like building up your town.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You gonna play in it?
Out.
You gonna jump back in there?
Yeah, I'm going to enough for this.
All right, cool.
I'm about
Just
to watch that movie tonight.
Oh yeah. All right, I want to review. That was actually a today thing, but it threw me off with the October 12th thing. So now a real new date for you. Spring-loaded software are delighted to announce that their pixel art tower offense title, Legend of Evil, is coming to PC and Nintendo Switch on October 19th. So there you go if you're looking for that. Deals of the day for you. Grimwood on PC is 50% off on Steam. And then, thanks to the friends over at GameSpot.com, I heard about this PSN flash sale. You can get Shadow of the Tomb Raider for $45, The Crew 2 for $36, Assassin's Creed Origins for $30, South Park The Stick of Truth $15, Fractured But Whole for $21, Donut County for $10, and Guacamelee 2 for $16. So go get that on the PSN.
Wait, so over here, how much is a full price retail game?
60.
60. Damn, that's Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
I know.
That is cheap.
Trouble afoot. There was a question yesterday about like, hey, what's going on? Like, do you think it was a smart idea for them to, because I think it's on sale outside of just the PSN sale as well too. And it's like, yeah, obviously, like they're trying to move as many units as they can before even more competition shows up to take your time and money, especially Red Dead, which is on the horizon and so close, Luce.
So excited.
Yeah.
We're doing like a show at work just about Red Dead because basically we had all these meetings and it was like, what's the game that everyone's excited about? And just everyone threw their cowboy hat in the ring.
Yeah.
And I was like, can we just do tons of stuff on Red Dead?
Sure.
So that's gonna be my life. I'm gonna come home. Hey guys.
Yeah. Right back to it. Yeah. That's helpful to me because I feel like when it was just Jen and I in the house,
right?
And I was like, I'm obsessed about this game. She's like, you're just a dork. Come on, let's go walk. Let's go to the store. Let's do it. When you come home, she's like, oh, it's an event. Like when you came home with Assassin's Creed and we were both in different rooms playing Assassin's Creed, she's like, this is my life now. I understand this is the thing that's happening.
That was a fun, I mean, I was going to say like, it wasn't the whole weekend, but it was amazing. I think it was just all Sunday. I could hear you in the living room playing Assassin's Creed. I was in my bedroom playing Assassin's Creed.
Exactly.
It was just quite a nice modern day bonding moment,
exactly.
I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Two sides of the same coin. Yeah. Just playing it as the one and only Cassandra, of course. Oh, yeah. What are you playing this weekend?
I want to do as much of Assassins as I can. Yeah. Because I feel like, I know it's going to be terrible, but that game is huge.
Yeah.
I've poured about 20 hours into it now, and I want to get that payoff. I want to know where that story goes. Everyone at work's like pretty much finished it. So I want to finish it because I know that as soon as Red Dead comes out, I will bounce.
Exactly.
Off
Me too.
Everything. But I also want to play, like, I for some reason started playing Breath of the Wild again from the beginning.
Okay.
Great
game. It's just a weird one to pick up right now. Another giant open world.
Right. And we're we have our best of the year deliberations, so as well, I'm trying to mop up stuff that I maybe missed earlier in the year that I can just, like quick. There's a bunch of Switch games that I think I missed. I missed Celeste.
Oh, Celeste is great.
So I want to pick up Celeste. But then I say I'll do all this, and
you
then
won't.
Jen and I go into IKEA tomorrow. So.
I know. Yes. Thank you. And again, thank you also for living in the house, because then I get to get out of stuff like that.
I am legitimately excited.
Kevin, I don't know if you know this about me. I just want to be left alone and play games. I don't hate IKEA. I don't hate it. I'm not one of the haters of it. I'm just saying, like, man, that is not how I want to spend one of my few days off. You know what I mean? Like driving over there, doing all this stuff. And and everybody's like, oh, the food's not that great.
Hey, you can get like an ice cream cone for 99 pence.
It's
I know.
cheap is what's great about it.
I'm aware it's cheap.
You're great. The hot dogs, I think you can get 2 for $1.
No,
fantastic.
it's like a Costco / Sam's Club pricing for that stuff. Yeah, that's all. That's
fantastic.
I'm not knocking. I'm saying I would much rather run around and play video games.
Do they have horse in them still?
Who knows? Who cares?
Nobody
you know what I
knows.
mean?
And I'm fine with that. I just want to make that clear.
Horses can't talk. It's fine. My thing is, I'm with you. This feels like we're in the waning moments. Red Dead could come any day. Who knows when we'll get review copies? I feel like I need to do this Assassin's Creed business, and I've done this whole thing where I've switched off of like I just want to live in that world and play in that world. But I'm also level 41 now, so like I can see level cap, and I want to hit level cap because then I can just knock out all the other things I need to do in there, right?
How are you doing with the cult?
I'm doing well with the cult. Yeah, no spoilers there. I have to. It is a thing I'm gonna have to dedicate more time to defining all of them because I want to basically get a full set of armor because I'm all poison. I got the poison dual daggers now. I'm using the poison bow. I'm poisoning people left and right. That's the thing I'm building, and there's that great poison armor set. But I went
fire set.
That's fine.
Fire.
That's fine.
God, I love this game so much.
Right, Kev?
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. I'm really
so I want to. Yeah, I feel like I got to commit, but then again, I got the new Lego game. But then again, I'm going to platinum the new Lego game, and that's not going to happen in a weekend.
Just stop sleeping.
That's a great point, Kev. Then I started the Astro Bot. Astro Bot's great too. Got to keep playing that too.
There are too many good games.
I know. If we could just stop, Kevin, can we take the week off? That's a no. Time for Reader Mail, which is brought to you by Brooklyn. And I sleep on Brooklyn and sheets, and I love them. You know this. You've seen the Instagram post. Portillo wrapped up in those the Brooklyn and sheets. They're comfy. They're cheaper than going to the store, and they're easy to order. Because as I've already stated on the show, I hate going to the store. Just bring everything to me. I can order it online like I did with Brooklinen. Brooklinen Sheets were named the winner of the Best of Online Bedding category by Good Housekeeping. Brooklinen is the fastest growing bedding brand in the world with over 20,000 5-star reviews. They have a small business approach from being run by a husband and wife to being involved in every step of the manufacturing process to a customer service team that cares so much they remember their customers by name. You can get different colors, different materials, and more over at brooklinen.com. My Brooklinen Sheets are the best, most comfortable sheets I've ever slept on. Brooklinen.com is giving an exclusive offer to my listeners. Get $20 off and free shipping when you use promo code GAMES at brooklinen.com. Brooklinen is so sure you'll love your new sheets that they offer a risk-free 60-night satisfaction guarantee and a lifetime warranty on all of their sheets and comforters. The only way to get $20 off and free shipping is use promo code GAMES at brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com. Promo code GAMES. Brooklinen. These really are the best sheets ever. Ben Jammin writes in to kindoffunny.com/KFGD and says, my simple question is if PUBG is fucked. The expanded version is that I am watching Twitch last night, and Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is very similar to PUBG. This we already knew, but now some of the biggest supporters of the game on Twitch, such as Dr. Disrespect and Shroud, now seem like they're going to move to Call of Duty. PUBG was already on the decline on Steam and Twitch, but is this the final nail in the coffin, or will there always be a place for PUBG?
I think there'll always be a place.
You think that, yeah?
Especially given Microsoft's investment in it.
Sure.
They will support the crap out of that game.
Yeah.
Like, they've invested a ton of time and money, and, you know, Brendan Green's always on stage at E3 now and at Gamescom. In terms of player base, sure, a ton of people are playing Fortnite. A ton of people are going to play Blackout, right? But does that mean that they're never going to go back to PUBG?
That's the big question. Is I would say, Ben, that, yeah, PUBG is on the ropes.
Yeah.
And what they do next will greatly influence if they're fucked or not.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, Fortnite came in, caught them dead in their tracks, and just surpassed them in a way that was like, holy shit. And the argument has been the people who stick around for PUBG that they just don't like the cartoony nature of Fortnite. They don't like the building of it. They want it to be more grounded, blah, blah, blah. the way Call of Duty seems to be performing and seems to be receiving does seem like that is going to snatch up that. And yes, if you see people like the Doc or Shroud move away from it and go straight into Call of Duty, that is going to have effect. However, it's back to your point, Luce, of like, well, if they come out and they're like, here's new maps, here's these crazy fixes where, you know, they build up to one giant update that really grabs players and attention, those Twitch streamers will come back to try it. People are going to do that.
I mean, like, look at Destiny 2, right? Everyone seemed to jump off that so quickly, and then Forsaken came out, and it's back in the public eye again. A ton of people are playing it again. You don't, I don't know, like, people don't necessarily just have to commit to one game, and that's their thing. They can bounce around. Like, I do that with Overwatch all the time. I'll go through huge phases where I play nothing but, and then I leave it for a bit, and then I come back. And that's probably what other people are going to do. It just has to be that PUBG are willing to move with the times, adapt, and give people something new. Yeah.
Games as a service move in waves. Yeah. And I think for a long time we saw PUBG ride a giant wave in the same way you see Fortnite ride a giant wave of success and popularity. And so it's weird to see that, you know, wave recede. And so it'll be back one day with something else, or it could be back one day with something else. To your point, I don't see them rolling over and being done.
No.
We're never updating again. We're never putting in anybody's gonna care. Right? No, like it's come too far and there is too much money and there's too much investment in it. You'll see something, but will it ever be able to come back and be the game again? That's a fight that remains to be seen. No, you say, Kevin?
Yeah.
You're just saying it's over.
Done.
Are you ready? You've given up too? Because you were all the time when I was like, let's play Fortnite. You're like, nah, PUBG.
I do think PUBG's way more intense. Makes your heart beat real hard.
So what are you? So have you looked into Blackout? Or like you like giving? Do you think that's gonna take that experience from you or for you?
I haven't looked into it at all. I'm definitely gonna give it a try. I doubt that it's gonna give me that same feeling because, from my understanding, like a lot of the map feels empty.
Okay.
Where PUBG, I feel like there's houses all over the place where you can hide.
Sure.
And that's where those intense moments happen. So we'll see.
Okay.
Definitely excited to give it a shot.
MalcontentRonin writes into kindoffunny.com/KFGD and says, I'm all for new consoles, but is it finally time we can have them with also... But is it finally time we can have them without also needing a new generation? PC and mobile can have new hardware constantly and do so without hitting the reset button. Why not consoles? We've seen it time and time again. New hardware brings new possibilities, but it also necessitates rebuilding the install base. We paradoxically go from 1 million users one day to 100 million users one day to 1 million the next. So, we have to wade through 2 to 3 years of launch titles, everyone focusing on graphics because it is the most marketable. Because games now have to justify the new console purchase, progress on everything else gets largely pushed aside while we wait for the install base. Why have we yet to devise a way of skipping the whole progress halting, launch games, justify the purge, and rebuild the install base phase? Do you think we ever will? Thank you so much for my question. Michael. Oh, well, hey, Michael. MalcontentRonin writes in all the time. I don't think I've ever known his name was Michael. Oh. There you go. Excellent. I think we might almost be there.
Yeah. If next gen is going to be, you know, more streaming focused, as stuff seems to suggest.
Yeah.
You know, you got Google coming in with Project Stream. It's basically the problem with progress is, you know, leaving behind that the old install base, right? And the thing now is everything's so expensive. So if you want to keep having these like a yearly iPhone iteration type thing, you're gonna have to have some legacy support, and it means getting to that balance where you can still support the older stuff as well as work on the new stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like the jump between 360 and Xbox One, for example, was so big that the way that that's been done is through the cloud. Yeah. And so now, I don't know, maybe next gen will be the one where we can. I feel like,
I think the next gen, not really knowing what's going to happen, but what we're seeing in the tea leaves right now could be the one you're talking about, MalcontentRonin, that shakes us all off. Yeah. Because it was the thing that PS3 to PS4, Xbox 360 to Xbox One, right? The leap was noticeable. Okay, 4K, you know, true 4K, whatever, blah, blah, but it wasn't PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2, PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3. It was, all right, it's a little bit better. And then this is the generation of the iterative console, of the Xbox One X, not to mention the S, but the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Pro. And when people talk about PlayStation 5 in circles or whatever, when people talk about the next Xbox, both of those sound like, yep, it's a beefier version of what you already have. And that means it's going to be able to run the old games and be able to run new games. But will it be, I don't know if this will be the console generation. And it could be that shakes off the idea of like, all right, cool, that's a PlayStation 5 game. No, this PlayStation 5 game will run on your PlayStation 4 Pro. It just won't look as good. We're starting to deal with sliders of the, you know, real life sliders of the PC scale rather than put the game into your PC, tell it what graphic settings you want. It's going to read what box you have and give you what graphic settings you want.
Right.
And streaming is a huge part of that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so excited about streaming.
Yeah.
In the way that when you talk about xCloud, right? I think they're going to launch xCloud and Xbox Scarlet and all that jazz, and it's going to be cool. Every Xbox One game works. The Xbox Game Pass works with it. Like, it's all the stuff you already had or have heard about all works on this streaming box. So why not jump in and do it? And yeah, there'll be the next Assassin's Creed or whatever game that's coming out is going to look great on it, but it's not walling you off that way.
Right.
But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong and PlayStation 5 will come out and be like, yeah, we're backwards compatible, but there are PlayStation 5 games you can only play here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. As well, to your point that, sure, it's a generational thing, but those generations last a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm coming up to, when did PS4 come out? Like 2013?
2014, I thought, right? Wasn't it right before?
Or was Xbox early 2014 and it was November 2013?
Yeah, they were right. They were right around each other again. This is why I wanted the chalkboard wall.
But it's like,
that doesn't make any sense to you, but it makes sense to the people I'm yelling at over there.
but like, you know, I feel like I've had that for so long, that console for so long. I feel like I've certainly got my money's worth. If stuff was coming out more frequently than that.
Damn it, November 3rd, 2013. It was 2013.
If stuff was coming out more frequently, if I had to upgrade my hardware, you know, every 2 years, for example,
Yeah.
that would piss me off.
Sure.
But because it's been, you know, like a solid 5 years, I feel less mad.
Did you upgrade to the Pros or the X's or any of that jazz?
So I have my launch PS4 is at my mum's house.
Gotcha.
And then when God of War came out, I bought a Pro
Nice.
because I was like,
See, I don't, and that's the thing is, if it's every few years, if it's an iterative thing, if it's adding it to it, I don't mind it as much, right?
Yeah.
Like the PlayStation 4 Pro, I was a big argument of, like, I'm not going to get it till my other PlayStation dies.
Right.
And of course, that thing sounded like a jet engine eventually died. Of course, I'm going to buy the nicer, higher end thing. And that's still my argument with the next Xbox or the next PlayStation of that. If that is a true console leap, a generation, obviously I'll be there, but the streaming service Xbox is talking about, or Microsoft's talking about, it does get me very interested. I don't use my Xbox that much. What if I did just buy the $99 Xbox streaming Scarlet?
Yeah.
That mainly is doing everything to the cloud. Like, I wouldn't mind trying that and seeing what that's like, because I'm so interested in what this technology is going to be.
sure. I mean, I remember being at E3 and being in a Gaikai presentation, and they were talking about, you know, all their big plans for it. And that was, God, that would have been 2012, 13.
Right.
And it just didn't seem feasible. And now you have things like Project Stream that Google's
Yeah.
doing. We played it the other day in the office.
Yeah, we were
and
playing
it
here yesterday.
was insane.
Exactly.
And it's like the time,
Yeah.
we're there.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so if that's what the next generation is, then I'm so ready for it.
Yeah, and that's where it gets really fascinating of what is the next generation of consoles. And I know we said this generation before it was out. Is that the last generation of consoles? Like, how do you start? What happens? It's going to be interesting when Microsoft and Google are promoting streaming platforms. And then PlayStation, you have to imagine, is as well. Is Microsoft's xCloud going to work on Switch? Are they going to try to get it on PlayStation? Are they, you know, like, there's a lot of crazy shit you can start talking about. Of like, well, that'll never happen. But I didn't expect to be playing Fortnite on everything a couple years ago. I didn't think that was something that would happen. I didn't expect for sure Microsoft and Nintendo to be putting out like joint videos of like survive together for Minecraft. Like,
Right.
They've done a bunch of crazy things, and as it all falls down, and as you see, you know, we're talking today about Diablo 3 making references to it. It's clear developers want it. It's clear as all these boxes become more and more just PCs, they can do it. So what's going to be the next card to fall? We'll see, Lucy James. Who knows? Where do I want to go with you next? Where do I want to go with you next? I don't want to go there. No, I don't want to do that one anymore. Rick Ross writes in, he's salty. Guys, I love you. But do you think it's fair to hold your audience hostage when Jared promotes his podcast, especially if we tune in to Kind of Funny Games Daily? Rick, I do think it's fair. As you know, Andrea, Jared, Gary, they're all the part-timers. We jokingly call them when they come in. But one of the deals we struck with them when they came in is that we can't afford to pay you what your real day rate would be to come in and do shows. However, we'll treat you as a Kind of Funny proper member, meaning that you can promote all your projects. So yeah, when Jared needs to talk about the fact that he's got a deal for Red Dead Radio and he wants to get sponsors and he needs help, he's going to be allowed to talk about that there. And I understand that might seem weird or whatever, but any guest who comes on is going to be allowed to promote their things, and Jared's here busting his ass for us all the time, and we don't pay him enough, and he doesn't make enough on Patreon. So yeah, we're going to help each other out. That's what it's all about, being best friends. Andrew from Colorado writes in and says, with Astro Bot getting more and more glowing reviews as more outlets continue to review the game. I'm curious if you all are planning any type of full discussion about the game after more time with it. It would be impossible to fully appreciate Mario Odyssey after the first Kingdom, and I believe this game continues to surprise and awe, much in the same way, parentheses, note, Tim needs to play this. Much in the same way of Mario Odyssey, period. Note, Tim needs to play this. P.S. This is an example of another game with a perfect platinum, like Spider-Man, that doesn't involve tapping one out with mayo. Insert odd comment about relations with poultry here. Andrew from Colorado. Where are you with Astro Bot and PlayStation VR? I don't know anything about you on this front.
So, I struggle with VR, to be honest.
Motion sick?
Yeah, I get really bad motion sickness.
Gotcha.
And so, I've always found with Vive, I've been broadly fine.
Yeah.
Broadly fine.
Sure.
But PSVR has been okay, but I think I'm naturally quite reticent to even have a go because I've had so
many bad things. Yeah.
I remember, I'm not going to name the game, but it was a first-person adventure game. And
Robinson the Journey.
Yep.
No, it wasn't actually.
Oh my God.
It was, I can't even remember the name. It was years ago. It was on Oculus Rift. It was on DK2. I remember that. And the guy was like, "Oh yeah, so there's a button to crouch down to pick something up off the floor."
Yeah.
And this was when VR was just becoming a thing, and we didn't really put those two together. And I did it, and I've never been more sick.
Yeah.
I took the heads off, and I went to be violently sick.
Jesus.
I get motion sickness. I threw up after playing Mirror's Edge 2. In a bin on the main concourse in the business hall of Gamescom.
That's awesome.
Was it?
I mean, as a story, yes. As in the moment, no.
I felt so bad. I played it and I was like, oh, I don't feel so good. And then we went back to the business hall and we were just about to shoot a thing. And I
Like 1 second.
so I suffer really badly from motion sickness.
Gotcha.
So VR, I'm always very conscious of.
Sure.
So I haven't played Astro Bot.
Andrew, I don't know where you fall in line with the shows we've done here or whatever. We talked about Astro Bot yesterday on Kind of Funny Gamescast. What was that, Gev?
Did you just call it Andrea?
Andrew from Colorado.
Okay, got it.
I talked about my experience with Astro Bot's First World on the Gamescast yesterday. Loved it. It was a lot of the stuff I had seen at Judges Week already when I also loved it. And as I would imagine most people know, I don't know about you, I love, or if you know this about me, if we're revealing our secrets here, I love PlayStation VR. Like I'm a big proponent, big fan of it. We did the PlayStation VR show here on Kind of Funny. It is, like I was joking around in the beginning of this, it's definitely something I need to get through and want to get through. Yes, I'm going to double back to it. Yes, I'm going to play more of it. And I agree with you, Andrew. You know, you put in here. It would be impossible to fully appreciate Mario Odyssey after the first Kingdom, and I believe this game continues to surprise and awe in much of the same way. I totally agree with you that when playing it, I remember sitting down playing it at Judges Week with most of the First World, and you're like, oh, this is cool, and then the next level gives you another mechanic, and the next, and like I started World 2 the night I was getting ready for Gamescast, and immediately there's an enemy that I'm dodging that wasn't in World 1. You're like, oh, I get it, but the problem then was that Jen was asleep next to me on the couch, and so like I couldn't do what it needed me to do. I'm like, wow. Back to Assassin's Creed because that's easier right now. I totally dig it. I am going to get through it, and I figured it was going to have a nice platinum, so I'm definitely going to keep working on that.
I might come in and just watch you play.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest way to do it, right?
The safest way.
Because I always go back to me with VR, right? And I think now I'm to the point where I play enough of it that I have really good VRC legs, and it rarely catches me off guard. But when it was brand new, I remember doing rigs one of the first times they had it, the mechanized VR combat game or whatever, and it was that cool, put it on. Oh man, this is awesome presentation. You know, you climb into the rig, the giant mech or whatever, and they put us in an elevator to take us to the arena floor. And as it came up and it stopped, my body felt like it was time to keep going, and so it was this weird thing of it stopped, but I felt like my head and body. That was when I was like, oh my god, like that was.
It's such a bizarre feeling.
When your body feels like it. I know what's going on. This is what's happening, and then it isn't. Your body flips out. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully more on Astro Bot soon. But again, Assassin's Creed, Red Dead, what a busy time right now. Moto507 says, do you think Rockstar is purposely delaying Red Dead Online so it, parentheses, potentially being a broken mess like GTA Online at launch, won't hurt reviews?
I feel like it's more because they've put so much time and effort into the single player.
Sure.
And they want people to play that first.
I doubt, even if the multiplayer for Red Dead is a glitchy, even if it just went in there and it just laughed at you, I think people would be so hung up on the single player being so great that they wouldn't. I think it's mainly hey, play the single player, have that have its moment in the sun, and then hey, let's have another great PR beat of like, and now it's a launch of basically a second game inside the game you already own.
And also as well, because everyone's still, I mean, understandably, like I'm gutted we never got GTA 5 single player DLC.
Sure.
Everyone's like, oh, Rockstar doesn't care about single player anymore, and this is them going, we really do play it.
We care a lot about it, actually.
Care a lot about it. We spent 8 years making this.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just giving people the opportunity to play it.
Yeah, I think it's that, and I think obviously this is what happened with GTA 5 Online, and that seemed to work out pretty well for them. So I think they have a pretty proven track record on how they're doing this and how they're rolling it out. So they're just going to do it. Let's talk more streaming.
Oh.
I think. Yeah, let's just go. Hatters wrote in to kindafunny.com/KFGD and says, "Hi, Greg and Lucy. I've been digesting the news this week surrounding all the new streaming services that have either started or are in the works. My question is, who loses out the most? Who loses out the more developed this becomes? Does anyone? Will the days of console war be over as everyone is able to access all games through one device, whatever that may be? Will Sony and Microsoft just jump up the prices of games to make up for the loss of revenue on console hardware? Keep up the good work, and as a fellow Brit, shout out to Lucy, representing UK, now over the pond, and all your hard work is paid off. Well done."
Oh, thank you.
We kind of touched on some of this, right?
Sure.
But do you think there's any losers in this streaming thing? Do you think the prices of games go up? If this is even what's going to happen?
I don't know.
I think prices go down. I do think that democratizing and going digital and making it a streaming service, prices would go down. Packages for streaming will be all over the place.
Well, if it goes completely digital, the people who will lose out are going to be stores.
Sure, exactly. It's definitely, the losers will definitely be brick and mortars of that, how that works, right? Or even Amazon.com, as you figure, to an extent.
Unless they do a tie-in thing that they kind of do with like special pre-order stuff. But
yeah,
even,
and they will, but even
then,
that's not really,
it's not
they lose them, year over year. They're still losing people. They're still losing people to this. I think it gets really interesting when you talk about, as bold as Xbox and Microsoft have been, if they come out and they're like, yep, and Project X Cloud works on a Switch, then if they are just selling their games directly there or renting them through there, I think that's a different case, and I think that's bringing the price down in terms of all that. But I think that you're talking about will Sony and Microsoft up the prices to make up for the hardware? No, usually people lose money on hardware. Like it takes a long time generally to get a console that you're selling into the black.
Sure.
So they're actually probably happier to do that and get their games out. And it's the same thing of like when Nintendo was on the ropes with the Wii U, we were all like, just sell your games. Just put your games on everything. Let us buy Super Mario Brothers on PlayStation, right? And you figure if this becomes a democratized future, it's what Sony's been building forever, and what Microsoft's really aggressive about right now is having a stable of first parties where if the console falls away, they are like, well, here's a new game from Undead Labs that we're putting everywhere, and PlayStation being like, here's the new game from Naughty Dog that we're putting everywhere. It's a bold new future, and nobody knows how this is going to shake out, but that's what makes it so exciting. Emmett Watkins Jr. writes in with a giant one. I'm looking if I want to do. No, I don't want to do that one. It's too much. Sorry. EJ says, do you feel Uncharted Lost Legacy got slept on? When the game released, I just thought, meh, more Uncharted, it's fine. Many reviewers felt that way too. But after replaying the game again recently, all I can say is, holy fuck, I need more Uncharted with Chloe in it.
That's my favorite one.
Your favorite one?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
Oh, yeah, honestly.
It was a good
Lost
one.
Legacy was my favorite one. Maybe it's on par with 2. 2 was, like, historically, I would always say 2 is my favorite.
Sure.
But then I really loved Lost Legacy.
I liked Lost Legacy fine. I fell into the, not meh, like I definitely played it and I was like, this is great, but it's like Tim and I used to talk about it. It felt like the middle of an Uncharted game. It felt like the epic front and the epic end got cut off, and it was just like, here's this game, and it was like, all right, cool, here's some stuff that happened. And I liked the characters. I loved their interaction up until the point that they were like friends, but they weren't friends. I was like, weird.
Wow, it's just women.
It's just women. Oh, you're allowed to say that.
I'm allowed to say it.
20. No, I was get out of here.
No, but I think I kind of like that because of how bombastic all the other Uncharted are. To have something that's just the nice little adventure without being not too over the top, but very intense. I just quite liked it. It was like a nice little.
See, I'm with you. I liked it. I enjoyed my time with it, but it's just I was never compelled to go back and platinum it or do anything with it. I was like, this is fun. All right, cool. I'm on to the next thing. And I think part of that was at the time, I know it's weird now. At the time, they started talking about it in promo of like, it's pretty much an Uncharted game. It's its own Uncharted game. And people are like, oh shit, there's more than DLC. And then you got it, you're like, oh, these are the mechanics of Uncharted 4 in a new wrapper. Great. They added in some of the open, area stuff, not world, but open area of choose your own adventure and go do this stuff. But It was fun. It was fine. But no, I think it got all the credit it deserves. Ain't that right, Cool Greg?
Yeah.
Time to squad up. This is where one of you writes into kindoffunny.com/KFGD with your name, username, platform of choice, and why you need help in a video game. I read it here. The best friends come and find you, and everybody has fun playing games together. Today, Cameron Nowak needs help on the PlayStation Vita. Cameron's PSN is the Caminator 2000. CAM. Caminator 2000. The Caminator 2000. I am one trophy away from getting the platinum in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. I need the Friendly Completion Trophy, which requires me to complete a versus match with a friend. And I need to get this trophy before the servers go down on Monday. So if any kind of funny best friends want to help me, that would be greatly appreciated. Cam, I'm sure we can get somebody to hit up on PSN, the Caminator 2000, and play PlayStation All-Stars on the Vita.
That's great because it has like a time.
Yeah,
like
the clock is ticking. Somebody's got to get and help out the Caminator 2000.
Godspeed.
Lucy,
hey,
you may have heard of the news. Shuhei Yoshida no longer hates everybody and is going to let people change their PSN names. Finally, after years of begging on all sorts of Greg Miller podcasts. What's happening now is we're saying goodbye to some of the worst PlayStation Network names in existence. Ivan wrote in with his.
Okay.
Ivan says, bad PSN name. When I got my PS3 around launch, I made a PSN name, my usual internet persona, Twilight 93. It was loosely based on Kingdom Hearts, and it was a cool sounding word. A year or two later, the first film in the Twilight franchise released. From that point on, anytime I played online, I was constantly made fun of for a movie I never watched. I never asked to represent Edward or Jacob, but I'll be the first to represent those who finally can change their PlayStation Network names. Ivan, a.k.a. Twilight 93.
That's so unfortunate.
That's the worst, is when you have your own reference and then somebody comes in and co-ops it.
Yeah.
You can't have that happen.
No.
That's not how it's supposed to be. Good Godspeed, Ivan. I mean, you could hold out. Eventually, Twilight will no longer be as associated with it. You think he's still playing online games? They're going to do Team Edward or Team Jacob.
I don't know.
Can you believe the CG was so bad? He ate the baby out of her stomach.
I can't believe he fell in love with a baby and everyone was okay with it.
Yeah, everybody's just cool. Oh, he imprinted. Big deal.
Actually, to be fair, I don't really hear people talk about Twilight much anymore, but Lindsay Ellis did an amazing video called I'm Sorry, Stephanie Meyer about Twilight, which is very good if you like video essays that make you think. And it did. And you know, Twilight is still trash, but that video is very good.
Lucy.
Hey.
We ask everybody watching live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames to go to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screwed up. So we can set the record straight for everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames and listening on podcast services around the globe. Kebab says, according to us.diablo3.com, the launch of the Ultimate Evil Edition of Diablo 3 also had Blizzard include a feature to export your saves from PS3 to PS4 and 360 to Xbox One. It also included a cross-manufacturer process, aka PS3 to Xbox One, but as of April 26th, this feature is April 26, 2016, this feature is no longer available.
Oh. But good to have it at launch.
Indeed. See, I hate a you're wrong that starts not a you're wrong. Then I don't need it in here. That's not where we're putting this one here. We're doing pretty well. Giraffe theory. To clarify, a first cousin shares grandparents with you. A second cousin shares great grandparents, and so on. Interesting. Kebab says, Greg mentioned that it usually takes a while for consoles to turn a profit. I'm not sure about Xbox One and Switch, but I definitely recall that PlayStation 4 was Sony's first console to be profitable on base console sales at launch. There you go.
Oh yeah, because every PS3, no, every
in the beginning,
Xbox,
no, every PS3 for a while they were taking a loss on you.
OG Xbox as well, they took a loss for a long time.
Yeah, so things are changing, but as I said, usually, so not wrong. I don't want that on my record, cool.
Technically correct.
Thanks, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy news you need to know about in the world of video games. If you like that, be part of the show, kindoffunny.com/KFGD. Then watch it live on Twitch. Watch it later on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames and listen on podcast services around the globe. Hosts for next week go like this. Monday, a mystery guest. I've booked this person, but I can't reveal who it is yet. Tuesday, Alex Rubens from YouTube. Wednesday, Gary Whitta. Thursday, Jared Petty. And Friday, making her long-awaited return to the Kind of Funny studio, the busiest lady in the business, Andrea Renee. Lucy.
Hello.
You've been fantastic today.
Thank you for
I'm sure you will not be a stranger around here. Where can people keep up with you?
Well, I work for GameSpot.com, so I can be seen in a bunch of videos around there. But you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at LucyJamesGames. Pro tip: get into a career field that rhymes with your name, because it helps with your branding.
That is good. Yeah, Nick wanted me to start calling you the infamous Lucy James, because you kind of sound like Jesse James.
Oh, you know what? When I went to university, I wanted to rebrand and be Jennifer James, because I felt like that sounded more like a Marvel superhero.
Oh.
And then I met my new housemates for the first time, and I completely biffed it. So
You're like, I'm Lucy. I'm like, fuck, I'm Lucy.
that's
I'm
exactly
Lucy
what
the rest of my
happened.
life. That was my chance, and I screwed it
I
up.
had the chance. But I will totally take the infamous. That could be my Red Dead name.
Oh, there you go. See, nailed it. All right, great. Make sure you follow her. I'm sure you can keep up with her and Jen going to IKEA. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.